This is my church.
Welcome to St Margaret's Church in Stratton St Margaret.
First built around 1280, the church originally served a small rural agricultural community called Stratton. Tucked into one corner of the parish, it seems the church was placed here to be near the Roman road, which gave the village its name.
Over there is the war grave of Gunner Harry Varney of the Royal Field Artillery. The poor chap died on November the 22nd, 1918, 11 days after the First World War ended.
People's ashes are still being laid here to rest in the churchyard.
One notable burial from the past is that of John Arkle. He started Arkle Breweries. It is said that he loved his horse so much that when he died and the horse died, they're buried together in the churchyard. But we don't know if it's actually true.
Here are the crosses made by the Crusaders. They did them before they went out, and if they came back, they did it again.
You see this little staircase here? There must have been at one time a room up above the entrance here. It may have been a schoolroom or a meeting place, but whatever it was quite a steep climb to get up there.
This is the nave, the oldest part of the church, originally built around 1280.
The chancel is the most modern part of the church, having been remodelled at least twice, most recently in 1860.
The 10 hammer beams each have shields on them.
At least they will do when I finish restoring them.
Our church warden, Richard, is a retired woodworker, and he's doing a beautiful job bringing the shields back into good repair.
The church is a living thing, each generation renewing it and keeping it alive. For instance, these badges were put up there in Victorian times when they rebuilt the chancel.
This is a combined shield representing the bishoprics of Bristol and Gloucester, both of which governed over Stratton in Victorian times.
From the earliest times, the IHS symbol represented the name of Christ.
Walter de Merton was rector of Stratton in 1260 and became Chancellor of England and Bishop of Rochester. He founded the Oxford College, which bears his name, and presented it with the rights to receive tithes and appoint the vicar of the parish. Merton College still has a symbolic role in the appointment of vicar.
The Archer family lived at Kingsdown House in Victorian times, and David Archer was the church warden at the time this chancel was rebuilt.
The Hedges family have a family crest of 3 swans, and it normally lives up there.
Sir William Hedges was one of the founding directors of the Bank of England. His grandfather was commemorated by the painted hatchment behind me. Do you see the 3 swans?
These 2 memorials are to the mother of Sir William. You can see the 3 swans again on the marble memorial.
All 3 memorials state that Mum and Grandad are buried somewhere nearby, but we don't know exactly where.
But we do know that when you come in, you're wiping your feet on a mat that's above a tombstone with a family crest of 3 swans. But the name of who lies underneath has been worn away.
Sir William's wife, Susanna, is buried in the churchyard. William had been a director of the East India Trading Company, and the couple had sailed to India, which in those days was a 4-month voyage. But Susanna died in childbirth in Hooghly, India, in 1683. William preserved her body and brought it all the way back to Stratton, where it was reinterred in the ornate chamber tomb east of the church, which also bears the swan crest.
And the Kemble family usually live up there, opposite the Hedges. Francis Kemble was a landowner who died in 1804, and he and his wife Judith also have a hatchment memorial here.
The family have links with Jacobean actress Sarah Siddons, who first found fame playing Lady Macbeth on stage, and then many generations later being name-checked in the Hollywood movie All About Eve.
And also to St John Kemble, one of 40 English martyrs who, after many years after their death, were canonised and made saints by the Pope in 1970.
This is our Crusader tomb, which is a bit of a curiosity because there actually isn't anyone in it.
Frederick Day, priest and missionary, killed North China, 4th of March, 1912.
Frederick Day was the 8th of 11 children born in the late 1800s to Elizabeth and Edward Day, who lived at the south end of Swindon Road, near the present New Inn.
Edward was a brickmaker and his two sons followed him into the trade, but Frederick eventually became an ordained priest, becoming a missionary in China. But he was killed by anti-foreigner insurgents while travelling in the north.
The memorial doesn't depict him though. Rather, it's the saints of two parishes, with St Philip the Less on the left and our own St Margaret with the dragon on the right. Our neighbouring parish, Stratton St Philip, helped us to set up the window.
So where did the village name Stratton St Margaret come from? Well, Margaret was added to the village name in 1300, when King Edward I married Margaret of France. The new queen adopted Margaret of Antioch as her personal protector.
Please do come down and explore.
This church has always been an integral part of the community.
And today you will find us doing at least 50 baptisms, weddings and funerals a year.
Taking communion to old people's homes.
Visits to and from school children.
Along with many other events.
Not even thinking about Christmas and Easter.
Serving all the different generations of Stratton St Margaret.
See you here at our church.